morning, or depending when you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. My name's Ross, and as always told, out of Voice of Radio. So today we got a couple of new products that we need to be having a little bit of a look about. And these are ones we didn't really know were coming, but they might be pretty nice indeed. Good. So let's go and have a look, starting off at a brand new EX box. And it's a cool one because it's one that I've kind of been waiting for, frankly. We have got the Mabosstiff EX box. And, well, I mean, look, this is going to sound very reductive, but I'm going to say it anyway. It's an EX box. And it's one we've been waiting for because, well, to put it simply, Mabosstiff EX has been missing. It's a card that was a league promo over in Japan. And then we just kind of never got it. It was one that I predicted might be turning up in Paldean Fates, because we know that Paldean Fates is going to be a little bit of a catch-up set. So it makes sense that if we're having a catch-up set and we've got this EX that we're just missing and waiting for and we don't know where it's coming, you know, you mash the two of them together and what do we end up with? We end up with Mabosstiff coming along in Paldean Fates. It was a sensible prediction, and it's something that in another world could very easily have been true. But it's not true in this world, ladies and gentlemen. We're getting it as its own EX box. And that actually means that as far as EX boxes go, this becomes one of the good ones. This becomes one of the most sought after ones because it's a brand new EX. It's not an alternate art. It's not a re-release or any of that. If you want Mabosstiff EX, this is the only way to get it. And as a side note, now that it's turned up in this EX box, I can't tell you for absolute certain it's definitely never going to appear anywhere else. But I can tell you that I would be very, 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 very surprised at this stage if Mabosstiff EX ever turned up anywhere else. Do not expect it to turn up anywhere else. Expect this to be the only place to buy it. Should you be expecting other versions of this card? Nah, mate. There is no full art. There is no special illustration rare. There's no gold. These cards don't exist. Remember, like I told you, Mabosstiff was a gym promo over in Japan, hence the gym promo stamp. So for that reason, Japan never made another version. These gym promos, they don't. They don't make other versions of them. I'll take Clorf EX as an example. I like Clorf EX. It's a very lovely looking card. Clorf is kind of awesome. We got Clorf just popped into Obsidian Flames. It's a cool card, I kind of like it. But we didn't get a full art of Clorf, we didn't get a special illustration rare, we didn't get any other version of Clorf, we only got the regular artwork. And the reason for that is extremely simple. It was a gym promo over in Japan. No other version of Clorf exists. We can't have a different version of Clorf because there is no different version of Clorf, and Mabosstiff is in the exact same boat here. If this was put into a set, it wouldn't be getting other versions. It's not being put into a set, it's being used as a promo, but it's still not going to be getting any other versions. Although I do think Clorf as a Pokemon is cooler than Mabosstiff, and I will not be moved on this. But what does it actually do in terms of the Pokemon? Is it any good? Well, we've got ourselves 260 HP on a Stage 1 EX, which is fine. And you got 2 energy, 30 damage. During your opponent's next turn, attacks used by the defending Pokemon do 50 less damage. Okay, it's alright. It is worth noting it is all attacks done by the defending Pokemon. And it doesn't say anything about the bench, which means it just includes the bench. So any attacks done by the defending Pokemon will just do 50 less to whoever, wherever. And in that regard, it's actually kind of cool, but it's 30 damage for 2 energy on a Stage 1. It's not exactly a huge amount of damage in that regard, and that makes me sad. For 3 energy, we've got Proud Fangs, 100 damage, but if your bench Pokemon have any damage on them, you do 220 instead. And when it says any damage, we mean any damage on any of your bench Pokemon. And that's 220. And 220 is kind of huge. Because 220 is a magic number for KOing Pokemon V. 220 is one of the key numbers in the game right now. And actually, yeah, that's not bad. Remember, Dark Patch is still a thing. We got a reprint of that in Astral Radiance. So getting the energy on here is not as difficult as it would be for some typings. And you're actually doing a decent amount of damage. Not saying it's perfect or amazing or any of that, but I am saying free energy with some energy acceleration to do 220, which is a super relevant number, yeah. Now, there is another argument here, which is, well, hang on a second. Raging Moon also does 220 for free energy, and it can use Dark Patch, but it can also use a new Sada card to accelerate energy, and it's got the other attack, which gets an instant KO. And okay, fine, it does a lot of self-damage, but you get the KO on anything, and it's a basic, and you're only losing 30 HP. Yeah, all fair points, frankly. But I'm just telling you, this second attack is not garbage. It's all right. And you do have an extra 30 HP, which could end up being relevant. Not saying this is better than Roaring Moon by a long shot. It's not. In fact, Roaring Moon does seem to be a bit better. Just saying that this second attack is not terrible. And then, in addition to your regular 4-packs and your normal promo, you get yourself a Jumbo promo. And I've made this point many times before. Kids love Jumbo promos. They're bigger, they're better to blue tack onto walls, not for the paint or the parents, but it is for the kids. There's a lot of cool stuff about these Jumbo promos. And then you've got just a Mabosstiff that's there as well. Yeah! Lovely little promo that's, well, it's going to have some holo on, which is lovely. Should be pointed out, this is not a new card. It is just a reprint of the one from Paldea Evolved. But we know the deal with these right now. They're going to be holo. It's going to have some holo on. So it's going to be the coolest version of that one from Paldea Evolved, if that's the kind of thing that you're into. And look, if you play Scarlet and Violet, you've got a soft spot for these Pokemon, and you know you do. We do have a description on the back of the box. It reads like this. Play like a boss with Mabosstiff EX. Mabosstiff is usually gentle, but it can appear intimidating while protecting its allies. Join forces with this loyal Pokemon and deliver a daunting blow to your opponents. You'll find Mabosstiff EX here as a foil promo card in playable and oversized versions, along with the Rascal Pokemon Mabosstiff. And it includes one foil promo with Mabosstiff, one foil card featuring Mabosstiff, one foil oversized card featuring Mabosstiff, 4 packs, and a code for PTCG Live. It's an exclusive card that cannot be found anywhere else, and if you want it, you gotta buy this. Which is more than we can say for the new EX decks. Now, I like the Mabosstiff EX box. I think it's really cool. I'm kind of a fan. It's one that I've absolutely got my eye on. That is not the case with these new EX battle decks. And we're going to have a chat about them because that's what we do. I tell you about all the new products and that's lovely. But I'm just telling you right now, these ones are, I think, considerably less exciting would be the polite way to put it. Look, we got these new EX decks and that's lovely. The problem is, you can look at the front of the box and go, well, hang on a second. What's new about them? And the answer is, unless I'm missing something, or unless there's something in here which is cool and they've chosen not to tell us, which would frankly be weird and unforeseen, nothing. We've got Melmetal EX and we've got Houndoom EX, and both of these look, at least from the front of the box, exactly, and I mean exactly, like they're cards from Obsidian Flames. And I'm pretty sure they are exactly like their cards from Obsidian Flames. So I'm not 100% sure. Now, there is a niche for these. I'll get to them in a second. But if, like me, you're a big Pokemon TCG nerd and you're looking for reasons to buy these products, like cheaper cards that are hard to get hold of in other places, or alternate arts, or brand new promos, or things of those lines, you're going to be disappointed with these two EX battle decks. They're not particularly good. Now, what you get in them are 60 card ready-to-play decks, a reference card, a rules book, a single-player playmat, set of damage counters, large metallic coin, deck box, strategy sheet, and code card. And then a bunch of reprints, and it looks like straight reprints with no promos. If anything changes, I will, of course, bring a video to let you know. If there's something in here that's alternate art or new, or there's a promo that appears or whatever, which is very unlikely, you think they'd use that to try and sell it in the first place, I will, of course, come and let you know. But as it stands at the moment, these are just reprints. So where's that niche I told you about a minute ago? I have said many times that these decks are actually really good for learning to play the game, or for playing the game very cheaply. There is a section of player who doesn't want to get super competitive super quickly, but wants a bunch of decks to play with, and if you want to go there, then these EX decks are really good. Buy a bunch of different ones and then just play them against each other and use that as your entry, your gateway into the Pokemon TCG. Buy 10 different EX battle decks, buy them all, and then just keep picking them at random and playing against each other. That is a really fun way to play a lot of Pokemon TCG very cheaply. You don't have to muck about with singles, you don't have to play around with deck building, you just buy a bunch of these EX battle decks, and then you and your mates have got 10 decks to play against each other and you just keep flicking around with the decks. I did that with theme decks with a bunch of friends back in the day when I was teaching them, and it was a lot of fun. That's why you want these. But if you're a serious Pokemon TCG player, if you've been around for a while, if you're a collector, nah. These are for people learning to play that want new decks to play with nice and cheaply. That is a niche. That is it. Right, there we go, ladies and gentlemen. Those are the new products. The Mabosstiff EX box, I love it. I'm almost certainly going to be buying it. But I think the EX battle decks here are disappointing, honestly. That's what I think, but I want to know what you think. So let me know in the comment section, would ya? Go nuts! Be nice! And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at @TheWasi. That's where we talk about Pokemon and a whole bunch of other card games. And please do consider checking out patreon.com/PTCGradio, where you can support the channel, get some bonus podcasts and all kinds of fun things. But by far the most important thing as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching PTCG Radio.